Good afternoon. Today we're going to talk about setting up your first or maybe your second wing foiling hand wing and go over some just rough guidelines in terms of taking care of your wing and keeping it in optimal shape. Take this Ozone Flux 2.4 out and take a look. All right. So your wing is going to come with some type of leash, whether it's like this one that would go around the waist or the wrist. As far as setting it up, it's the same. Now it might come already set up in the bag, but I think it's important to just quickly go over how to attach a wing leash to both the wing and whatever device you're using to attach it to your body. There's going to be a loop like this on both the wing and either the wrist leash or the waist leash. One thing to keep in mind is often these wing leashes are going to have a swivel component on one side. Now it's best to attach this one with the swivel to the wing. That way if the wing's flapping around in the air and twisting around, it's not going to get your line all messed up. So as far as attaching it to the loop on the waist leash, it's really simple. We're just going to take this loop on the non-swivel end, go around there, and we're going to feed the other side with the swivel all the way through. Like so. Now I have a very secure fit on the leash itself. And going to kind of do the same thing over here on the wing. You can see there's kind of the same loop. Basically all we're going to do is feed this bigger hole through the loop, and then can be a little bit of a pain, but we're just going to feed the entire waist leash assembly through the leash line. And if I were to tighten that all the way up, you can see how it'd be attached securely to the wing. Now, one product I'd recommend for really everybody in this sport, super small, especially if you're going to be using multiple wings, is this PKS pigtail with a stopper ball on it. And one moment. So it's just going to be this little doodad here. Essentially, you're going to attach this to the wing, and then all you have to do to switch your leash is a lark's head knot. So we're just going to wrap down through itself, and then that secures around the pigtail. This is really great if you're someone like myself who uses one leash line and one harness for all three of my wings. That way I'm never having to deal with threading anything through when I'm getting set up. I can just take it off really quickly and switch wings with a breeze. All right, now we're gonna get this wing pumped up. So the valves that the wing uses and how you inflate it is gonna be really what depends on the manufacturer. But these are just gonna be the basic guidelines. This is an Ozone wing, so we'll do it according to their guidelines. But one important thing is every Kite wing pump is gonna have this secure cord on here. Typically I'd be in a windy condition, so when I'm pumping up my wing on a windy beach, I'm gonna have the wind at my back, and I'm just gonna take this and secure it to the wing. That way it's not gonna blow off or if it gets disconnected or whatnot. So I'm gonna inflate the strut and then the leading edge. All right, so each manufacturer is going to vary the PSI that the wing should be inflated to, and that's not going to be standard throughout each of their wings. It'll often vary by the size of the wing, but typically that's going to be written somewhere pretty obvious near the valve, so pay attention to that. And I'm using the PSI gauge on the pump to ensure proper inflation. All right, so with the wing inflated, now if we were on a windy beach at this point, I want to make sure that this is secured either to my wrist or my waist, and then I can disconnect the pump. All right, so you're done using the wing and you're just gonna pack it up. We're just gonna go over just a couple quick tips and ensure that you're keeping your wing in good condition. The first thing is we don't wanna be packing up our wings wet. Obviously that's gonna be unavoidable sometimes leaving the beach. It's gonna be okay to maybe leave it for a day wet, but you really wanna avoid any long-term storage where mildew can form. It's gonna be pretty similar to camping gear. It'll just develop a smell. You know, I've heard people think that you need to be rinsing it with fresh water after every use. I don't think that's true. It's just important that it's dry. That's the number one thing. So to deflate the wing, we're gonna put it in a neutral position and just undo the valves and let the air come out. And what I always like to do is just hold it by the handles here, kind of flip it so it's on top of itself, and then you can just roll it up from one side. I think it's important to note that depending on your wing and the bag it comes with, or the hard handles versus soft handles, you might have to fold it up a little smaller than what I'm gonna do, but typically we just are gonna roll it up from the side and then fold it into thirds. So now that all the wind is out, or all the air, now that all the air is out of the wing, I'm just gonna take this valve and give it a couple turns so it's threaded in there. And what that does is just keep your bladder from getting any debris inside there during transportation. Also, most wings are gonna have some sort of neoprene cover over the valve. This protects any of this hard plastic rubbing on the canopy while you're riding. I think it's important to just make sure that those are also in place with the Velcro to protect any unnecessary rubbing. Now, got it folded in thirds. If you feel inclined, you can do a little loop of the waist leash, and we'll just chuck it in the backpack. That's all for this video. Like always, if you have any questions, leave them down below. Give us a call at the shop. Enjoy the wing, and we'll see you on the next one.